Author's POV. A serene November morning unfolds with a gentle chill in the air. The sun, a radiant orb, illuminates the remnants of autumn foliage in warm hues. Barren trees cast intricate shadows, and the azure sky, adorned with wispy clouds, serves as a tranquil backdrop. The cool breeze rustles fallen leaves, creating a peaceful symphony. Amidst the chilly ambience, the sun's golden touch imparts a soothing warmth, offering a brief respite before winter's arrival. And here's a couple sleeping peacefully. As the sun rays hit the girl, she squinted her eyes and rubbed them too. She slowly opened her eyes and adjusted them with the room light. A sweet smile crept on her face when she saw her husband sleeping peacefully beside her. She extended her arms as she caressed his hair locks and she found herself lost in her thoughts. She felt immense peace seeing her husband beside her, but only she knew how cold he was to her. He has a very cold personality and he is always a grumpy person for everyone. Sometimes he shows his affection to YN and that moment feels like bliss to her. YN's POV. I got married 3 years ago and it was an arranged marriage, or may say that it was a marriage between two businesses. My father is the founder of AMA Clothing Company, which is Korea's most famous brand, decided to collaborate with Kim's Corporation, which is very keen on their work in technology. They decided to work together and tried to combine technology with clothes, which almost influenced everyone. Later on, my father and Uncle Kim thought of turning this collaboration into a relationship. They both came up with the plan to marry off the older ones. I'm the oldest in my household and had to get married to Uncle Kim's oldest son. I hadn't had any issues with it because so far I was in my zone, never had a boyfriend before, no clubbing, and not more than 2 friends, so I was pretty much fine with this arrangement. One evening, we set up a dinner where I met with their son. His name is Kim Tae-young. I was just mesmerized by his looks and after I talked to him, I felt a genuine connection between us. I asked him whether he loves someone or something, but the answer was pretty positive. So, in the end, we both said yes, and here I am sharing a bed with my bae. It was an arranged marriage, so at first we were awkward towards each other, but we are fine now. He has a cold personality and I am the bulliest person anyone can ever see. I love him but I am afraid of confession. We bonded with each other very much and I don't want to ruin it. So I am fine the way things are. So as I was saying, he has a bold and cold personality, and everyone feared him. Since he is the CEO of the Kim's Corp, everyone is afraid of him. He needs perfection in everything. But he sometimes shows his cute side to me and I am blissful about that. So as I was saying, right now I am lying next to him stroking his fluffy hair. I flinched hard when I felt someone's hands on mine. I looked towards Tae-young and saw him looking at me. Although he is looking, but because his resting face is kinda bitcha type. I smiled as slipped my hands back from his grip and said, "Morning Tae." He showed me his infamous not-so-visible smile and replied, "Morning, did you sleep well?" I nodded to his question as I was unable to say anything. His morning husky voice is so provocative that makes my knees weak and a shiver runs down my spine, resulting in goosebumps. I stood up and went to the washroom. I am excited today as today is our 3rd anniversary and as usual, I know that Tae-young has forgotten it. Well, at first I felt bad but then later on realized that Tae-young is a very busy person. I am his wife and I need to make sure that I am not being a burden to him. He never made me feel like that, but why not just be extra careful? I am excited today because I have planned something for our anniversary. I didn't arrange much, but I have decided to plan a small date night for us. It will help me spend some time with him, quality time. I hurriedly got ready and went downstairs to make breakfast for us. Author's POV. As YN came downstairs, she started making breakfast for each other and shortly after Tae-young joined her too. He helped her arrange the table for them and place necessities like water bottles and all. They sat across each other and started digging in. YN stole a glance at him and coughed a bit, gaining Tae-young's attention. Tae-young looked towards her and she continued, "Happy 3rd anniversary." A crimson color decorated her face as she looked down, biting her lower lip. Tae-young mentally facepalmed himself as he felt a bit guilty for forgetting their anniversary. He looked at YN who was looking at him and said, "Happy 3rd anniversary. I am sorry YN, I forgot. Let's go somewhere on Sunday. I will compensate with it." YN shook her head with a little smile, placed her hands over him, and said, "It's okay Tae. I understand that it's the most hectic time of the year. It's fine. Just come early today, please?" She showed him the best puppy eyes she could make and that's when Tae-young melted and said, "Sure." Afterward, they both eat in peace discussing trivial matters like, what Taeyong wants to have for dinner or what YN wants as a gift. And afterward, he went to his office. Taeyong's POV. I came to the office and saw Jungkook looking at some files. I sighed and sat on my chair as Jungkook came and sat across me and wished me, "Happy anniversary Hyung." I nodded my head and said in a deep and cold voice, "Thanks." He sighed and continued, "Did you prepare something for YN?" I shook my head as he again sighed and this time exited the office. I leaned on my chair and rubbed my forehead. I know I am a cold person, but it is just my personality from the beginning. At first when my father proposed the arrangement of me getting married to YN, I was concerned, but after meeting her, I got to know that she is a great woman and this made me eventually fall for her. I mean, it's pretty common for a person who is living with you under the same roof, and that is understandable and all. I am excited about today's arrangement too. I will buy something for her and we will have a good quality time. Author's POV. The kitchen hummed with the sounds of sizzling pans and clinking utensils as YN, lost in her culinary creations, put the finishing touches on the anniversary dinner. The air was thick with the irresistible aroma of Taeyong's favorite dishes, promising a feast for the senses. The table, adorned with flickering candles and fresh flowers, awaited the couple's celebration. Almost ready, YN muttered to herself, glancing at the clock. She took a moment to admire the outfit she had carefully chosen for the evening. The crisp white t-shirt, soft to the touch, clung gently to her form, accentuating her silhouette. The neckline, subtle yet alluring, hinted at the elegance of the evening. The flattering skirt, with its gentle sway as she moved, added a touch of playfulness to the ensemble. She glanced at herself in the mirror, adjusting the collar of the t-shirt with a satisfied smile. The soft glow of the kitchen lights cast a warm hue on her features, emphasizing the anticipation in her eyes. YN was determined to make this anniversary unforgettable, and every detail, from the carefully prepared meal to her chosen attire, was a testament to her love for Taeyong. With the table set and the kitchen tidied, YN stole another glance in the mirror, her reflection framed by the soft glow of the candles. The white t-shirt, in its simplicity, radiated a quiet charm. Little did she know that it held the potential to turn a routine celebration into a moment they would reminisce about for years to come. As she awaited Taeyong's arrival, YN's heart fluttered with a mix of excitement and nervousness. She smoothed down the skirt, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. The white t-shirt, in all its inadvertent transparency, added an unexpected layer of vulnerability to the evening, a vulnerability that, unbeknownst to her, would become a catalyst for a light-hearted and enduring memory. As she bustled around, checking the oven and adjusting the table settings, the flickering flames revealed a subtle transparency in the fabric. The contours of YN's figure, normally discreet, were now delicately on display, adding an unintended layer of allure to her appearance. The room, filled with the rich aroma of the anniversary dinner, became a stage for an unintentional but captivating revelation. During her preparations, YN remained blissfully unaware of the transformation her t-shirt had undergone. The soft candlelight played tricks on the fabric, turning it into a canvas that painted an unwitting picture of vulnerability and charm. The dim light that set the perfect romantic mood for the evening also cast a spotlight on this unexpected feature of YN's attire. It wasn't until Taeyong walked into the kitchen, drawn by the enchanting scents and the anticipation of a wonderful evening, that the revelation unfolded. His eyes widened with surprise and admiration as he took in the unintentional allure of YN's see-through t-shirt, and a playful smile tugged at the corners of his lips. YN turned around and flinched hard when saw Taeyong looking at her with an unavoidable eye. She traced his eyes and looked at herself and saw that her t-shirt had become transparent. Her eyes widened as she tried to cover herself with her hands as Taeyong looked towards her again and came toward her. "I know it's a bit embarrassing to be seen like that, but I am your husband and we saw each other everything. It's fine?" He tried to console YN as she nodded her head and tried to calm down. She muttered an apology, "I am sorry, Tae." Taeyong shook his head and grabbed YN's shoulder. "You are still the most beautiful in my life, YN. It's okay and everything is fine," he said, his eyes filled with genuine affection, as he pulled her in a hug and hugged her very tightly. After the initial shock wore off, Taeyong couldn't help but chuckle, appreciating YN's vulnerability and the effort she had put into the evening. "I decided to be the best I can, Taeyong, but look what happened. I ruined our small celebration." "I didn't realize the shirt was so revealing," YN said disheartened. She admitted, a nervous giggle escaping her lips. Taeyong pulled out of the hug and took her face in his big palms as he kissed Hyen's crown and said, "No dear. This is still the best thing I could expect to be as a celebration. I love it and we will remember it always as it made some memorable memories. Don't you?" Hyen nodded, her cheeks flushed in crimson color because of the sudden kiss. She smiled knowing that as much as she detested the malfunctioned wardrobe but also glad that it added this twist. A sense of relief washed over Hyen, and she couldn't help but smile back again at him. "I just wanted everything to be perfect," she confessed. "And it is," Taeyong reassured her again, wrapping his arms around her. "Tonight is perfect because it's uniquely us, unexpected moments and all." The awkwardness of the situation had melted away, replaced by a shared understanding and a deeper connection. As they held each other, the flickering candles casting a soft glow around them, Taeyong continued, "This will be a story we'll tell, and we'll laugh about it in the years to come." Hyen leaned into the embrace, grateful for Taeyong's understanding. "I guess our anniversary just became even more unforgettable," she remarked with a playful grin. "Exactly," Taeyong agreed, placing a gentle kiss on her forehead. "And that's what makes our love so special, the ability to find joy in the unexpected." Hyen looked toward him and said, "So now you are confessing that you love me?" Taeyong smiled innocently and said, "Isn't it obvious?" Hyen shook her head and said, "You need to say some words to make the other people know your intentions." Taeyong chuckled again as he looked deep into Hyen's eyes and said, "You are beautiful." He was staring continuously into her eyes when he realized, "Oh. I am sorry I got you something as a gift for our anniversary." He broke the hug, went to her bag, and took a small box from it. He gave that to Hyen as she beamed in happiness after receiving a gift. She opened it and it revealed a gorgeous emerald pendant with a chain. She took that chain out and gestured to Taeyong to make her wear that. Taeyong, being a gentleman, understood the assignment and went behind her. Hyen got shivers running down her spine when his cold fingers touched Hyen's delicate skin on the neck when he was trying to bring Hyen's hair to the one side and he gently slipped the chain on her neck. A temptation generated in him as he leaned on her neck and kissed it softly. Hyen first flinched but then accepted the situation and she closed her eyes taking in his touch of lips. Taeyong stood straight as he made her look toward him and leaned in for a kiss but stopped halfway. He looked into her eyes and asked, "May I?" Seeking permission first before he kissed her made Hyen's heart pound more loudly, being proud that her husband was such a gentleman, and she nodded her head in agreement. He smiled cutely and leaned into the kiss. He took things slow as he gently pressed his lips onto her and waited to be assured that she was comfortable to kiss him. Hyen tried to make a move as she started to move her lips and eventually, Taeyong gave in. The kiss was slow but passionate, gentle but hot, and full of love and affection. They both deepen the kiss as Taeyong grabs her and puts her on the table. This made Hyen flinch and Taeyong took the opportunity by sucking her tongue, which made her moan a bit as the atmosphere became heated a bit. Hyen tapped on Taeyong's shoulder indicating to give her some time to breathe and they both broke the kiss. They both were breathing heavily as Taeyong pressed his head onto her. They both laughed in between their heavy breath as again pecked each other's lips. And so, in the warm embrace of their shared laughter and affection, the unintentional wardrobe malfunction transformed into a cherished memory, a story to be retold with fondness and humor in the tapestry of their enduring love.